Hello, and welcome to Chapter 2, Section 3, Long and Synthetic Division. To divide two polynomials, we use a method similar to that used for division of two whole numbers. This process is called long division. So let's look at our first example. We take the second number, which is the divisor, put it on the outside, so that's x plus 3. And then we put our division sign, just like we did with our whole numbers, and then we put the first number, inside. And we need to make sure it's in order and that all of the x's are covered. Even if there's one that's not there, we need to make sure we put in a placeholder. And we'll see an example with that happening. Okay, so we have x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay. What we want to do is we want this number or variable to match this variable. So what do we have to do to multiply times x to get x squared? Well, that would be multiplying by x. So we multiply x times x, which gives us x squared, and we multiply x times 3, which gives us plus 3x. Just like with other division, we subtract next. So we subtract, and then we're ready to finish this step. So the x squareds are gone. I've got 5x minus 3x, that's 2x, and I bring down my next term, which is plus 6. Okay, again, I'm only worried about this term and this term. What do I need to multiply times x to get 2x? Well, that would be multiplying by 2. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 3 is 6. And just like I did before, I have to change the signs because I'm subtracting, so that becomes minus, that becomes minus. And when I do 2x minus 2x and 6 minus 6, I get 0. So my final answer is x plus 2. Now we're ready for our second problem. Again, we're going to set it up just like the previous one. And we're going to write 4x minus 5, and we're dividing that into 12x squared minus 11x plus 10. Okay, again, first numbers need to look alike, so I need to multiply by 3x. 3x times 4x is 12x squared. 3x times minus 5 is negative 15x. I go through and change the signs. Minus plus. 12x squared minus 12x squared is 0. 11x minus 11x plus 15x is 4x. Bring down my next term, plus 10. Okay, this time I see I have 4x and 4x, so I just need to multiply by plus 1. Okay, so that gives me 1 times 4x is 4x. 1 times minus 5 is minus 5. Again, change the signs, minus, plus, and I get 4x minus 4x is 0, 10 plus 5 is 15. Well, this time I have a remainder with my answer, and this is how we handle a remainder. I write 3x plus 1. My remainder was positive, so I'm going to do plus 15 over what I was dividing by, which was 4x minus 5. And there's my final answer. Now let's look at a couple other examples. On this first example, we see that it is not in order. So the first thing we'll need to do when we put the divisor in is to make sure that it's in order and make sure all the spaces are covered. So I've got 2x plus 3, and that's being divided into, okay, if I put it in order, that's 4x cubed minus 6x squared. Oops, I have a blank because there's no x's, but I need to put plus 0x, and then plus 6. This is what's called a placeholder. If I'm missing one of my variables, I need to put in a placeholder. Notice I go in order from 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, now I'm ready to start dividing. The 2x goes into 4x cubed. That's going to be 2x squared. That gives me 4x cubed plus 6x squared. Okay, just like I've done before, come back, change the signs, minus, minus, and then I combine the terms. That gets rid of my x cubes. I've got minus 6x squared, and minus 6x squared becomes minus 12x squared. I bring down my next term, which is my placeholder, but I still need it, 0x, and I ask myself, how many times does 2x go into negative 12x squared? And that's negative 6x. Negative 6x times 2x is negative 12x squared. Negative 6 times negative 3 is negative 18x. Okay, come through and change the signs. That becomes plus, that becomes plus, and then we combine terms. 12x squared minus 12x squared and plus 12x squared is 0. 0x and 18x is 18x. Then I bring down my last term, which is my 6, and I get 2x goes into 18x plus 9 times. So 9 times 2x is 18x, and 9 times 3 is plus 27. I come through and change my signs, negative, negative, and then I collect like terms. 18x minus 18x is 0. 6 minus 27 is negative 21. That means this one also has a remainder, so that's the answer is 2x squared minus 6x plus 9. My remainder is negative, so that's going to be minus 21 over 2x plus 3. And there's my final answer. Okay, let's look at our last example for long division. I write my divisor down. X squared minus x plus 1 divides into x cubed plus 0x squared, placeholder, plus another placeholder of 0x plus 1. Okay, x squared goes into x cubed. X times x squared is x cubed, and that's going to be minus x squared plus x. Okay, I go through, change my signs, minus, plus, minus. That becomes 0. X cubed minus x cubed is 0. 0x squared plus x squared gives me x squared. 0x plus minus x gives me minus x, and I bring down my last term, which is plus 1. And x squared goes into x squared one time, so that's plus 1. 1 times x squared is x squared. 1 times minus x is minus x, and 1 times 1 is plus 1. And just as I have done on previous problems, I need to change the sign. So that's negative plus negative. In this last problem, that becomes 0, and there is no remainder, and my final answer is x plus 1. Next, we're going to do synthetic division. It's a shorter method of dividing a polynomial by a binomial that's in the form x minus a. This method of dividing uses only the coefficients of the variable terms and the constant. Use synthetic division. So we make a little L-shaped on its side box. We put the opposite of what that is, so that's plus 3, so we put minus 3. then we put our coefficients, and they have to be in order, and if you're missing a coefficient, you put in 0. So that's 2, 3, -4, and 15. Okay, for the first one, you bring that first coefficient down. So I'm going to bring the 2 down, so it's down here. Now, anything that's on the outside is going to be multiplied. Anything on the inside is going to be added. And I'll show you what I mean. -3 times 2 is -6. Now we add 3 and -6, which gives me -3. Okay, -3 times -3 is +9. -4 and +9 is +5. -3 times 5 is -15. Okay, well, since I divided by x, that means I'm going to be 1 degree less on my answer than I was in my problem. So that's going to become 2x squared minus 3x plus 5. If I needed to find zeros, I've already found one. I could easily use the quadratic formula to find the others now that it is in a quadratic. Okay, second example. Again, our little L shape. Again, opposite of what that is, which is -2. Put in my coefficients. 3. There isn't an x cubed, so I have to put a 0 in there. Then I have -8. And then I have 2, and then I have 1. Okay, again, we bring down the 3, multiply on the outsides, adds on the insides. So -2 times 3 is -6. 0 plus -6 is -6. -2 times -6 is +12. -8 plus +12 is 4. 2 times 4 is -8. 2 plus -8 is -6. 2 times -6 is +12. 1 plus 12 is 13. Okay, let's see how we write our answer, because this time there's not a 0 at the end, there's a remainder. So we do 1 degree less, 3x cubed minus 6x squared plus 4x minus 6. Since my remainder is positive, that's going to be plus 13 over what I was dividing by, x plus 2. Okay, if we recognized that in the previous problems that the degree of the quotient is 1 less than the degree of the dividend. Okay, let's do a little quick check. Can you use synthetic division for problem A? No, because that's an x squared in the denominator. Can you use synthetic division for problem B? No, because that's a constant in front of the x, and our form is x minus a. Okay, and again, on C, we have a squared term in the denominator, so I cannot use synthetic division for that either. Okay, now there is another use for synthetic division. We can evaluate a polynomial whenever we're given a value for x. Now remember, this is giving me the value for x, so it's actually, if I were to look at it in a binomial form, that would be x minus 2. Okay, so let's quickly set up our problem. Here's our little L-shaped. We've got 2, -3, 4, -5, and 1. And I'm dividing by 2. So I bring down my 2. 2 times 2 is 4. -3 and 4 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. -5 and 12 is 7. 2 times 7 is 14. 14 plus 1 is 15. And what that tells me is P of 2 equals 15. Okay, let's try one more. Okay, I've got 1. I've got a 0 because I have a missing term. I have a negative 3. I have a positive 4 and a negative 5. Okay, and this time I'm dividing by negative 2, which again, that means x plus 2 is what I'm dividing by. So that's bring down the 1, and negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. 0 and negative 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Negative 3 and 4 is 1. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. 4 and negative 2 is 2. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. And negative 5 and negative 4 is negative 9. So what that means is P of negative 2 equals negative 9. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. See you in class. Goodbye.